Hey everybody, welcome to Now It's Dark. I'm Jim. I just watched a movie called Campton Manor. It's 2024 horror mystery thriller, and it was directed by Kat Hostick, written by Stephen Wallace, about an author that's trying to investigate a decades-old mystery and finds himself stuck in his own ghost story. And um, this has like this crazy cast of characters that I really wasn't expecting to see in here, like some really identifiable people that have been in other movies that I've enjoyed. Teddy was played by Sean Roberts. Jack was played by Jason Landon. Definitely recognizable. Got it up on the screen right now. Another very recognizable character that I really thoroughly enjoyed was Lawrence, played by Kenneth Welsh. Kenneth Welsh has been in a ton of stuff. He's got a very um, recognizable look and voice. And the same can go for this character, Edward, played by Julian Richings. And again, very recognizable, should be on the screen right now for you. And then we have a bunch of other attractive people in this movie. Walter Borden is not one of them, but he's an identifiable actor as well. He plays Carrick, a bartender, and yeah, so there's a lot going on. I want to read this um, bigger storyline synopsis that was written by Jerry Wordsmith on um, IMDb, if I can scroll to it. And I don't know who Jerry Wordsmith is, but he does a good job of explaining it. It kind of borders spoilery a little bit, but it's a good synopsis, better than I could probably write out on my own. A horrifying psychological thriller about Teddy, an author slash spiritualist who specializes in the horror genre. Teddy's career is based on investigating haunted houses and creating novelized versions bases on his experiences. A surprising warning in a previous investigation has led him to research and investigate the notorious Campton Ball incident, which took place on New Year's Eve many decades before. An incident that concluded with the unexplained deaths of everyone in attendance. On the anniversary of the tragedy, he spends the night in the abandoned manor only to find that his unique talents to see the dead have allowed him to become a part of the original event, a talent that will either solve the mystery or drive him completely mad. And that is like the perfect synopsis. I could end the review right here. Um, this is the type of movie that may confuse people because we're doing like flashbacky kind of stuff. We're in and out of certain moments of time during the narrative of the story we're watching unfold. We're picking up new pieces of the story as the movie progresses. We are rewatching scenes of the story a couple of times at certain points because of different perspectives or memories unlock or somebody else is explaining what happened. But I thought it was really good. I was engaged with this movie throughout, um, enough that I didn't feel like I was being overwhelmed with too many confusing backflashes and things like that. Once you get the characters in place in your head, you know when you're interacting with certain characters, you're in the past, and when you're interacting with other characters, you're either in the past or you're in the current, because some of them are in both. And, Teddy would be included in that. It's a really good mystery. It's like at first, like I said, you're kind of like, who's a ghost? Who's not a ghost? I see dead people. It's in your head. You're going to say it. I see dead people. And it's just a real fun thing, like the New Year's Eve party thing. It made me think, I don't know why, because it's not very similar, but it's like the the Shining, in that Teddy's a author, and there's this New Year's Eve happening that tragedy strikes, and it's a mystery of there's a murder at this Campton Ball, and who did it. It's really well done. I don't know. It's like interesting. Like there's red herrings. There's again, like I said, scenes that get redone. And at first, there were like a couple of scenes that I was like nervous that it was going to continue to be this way, but then it didn't. But you know, when people are like in this very suspenseful moment and then they just jerk up out of bed and oh, it was a dream or it was a regressed memory or whatever. And I don't like that being overdone in the movie. They do it 2 times in this, but thankfully that's it. I have previously, been involved with paranormal investigations with the ghost hunting group that I was in. So I did like some of the drops uh, of terminologies that they use, like residual hauntings, and they're in a loop and they're just kind of like replaying the same uh, activity over and over. And but the activities change and things happen, and we find out like through some kind of fun twistiness, who the murderer is and why, and it gets resolved at the end, and it's just kind of like a neat ending because if you're paying attention to the beginning, it's like a real good wraparound, interesting thing, and you're like, oh, everybody or certain people that I thought were certain people weren't who they were. They were somebody else, and then who's a ghost and who's not a ghost. This was on Prime, by the way, and Vudu and Apple for $3.99. I was glad that I took a chance and watched this one. It's a good mystery thriller. I don't know like the horror aspect of it, but it's fun. It's a timepiece too, so if you like kind of like period pieces, like I would say this was probably the 40s or 50s at certain points, maybe the 50s. So it's fun in that regard. Plus, some of these actors are just so fun just to listen to, like that Welsh guy and that Welsh guy, Kenneth Welsh. I could listen to him in any performance that he's been in. I think he was in one of the zombie of the Deads or something. Uh, but yeah, good movie. Glad I watched it. Let me know in the comments down below if you've seen Campton Manor or if the plot sounds very similar to something that you've seen before, because I don't know that this is necessarily a very, very like hardcore original movie. I think there's been other things similar to it. But that's going to do it for today, and keep coming back to the channel for more great stuff.